26th, Monday. It's been a few days. I don't think I've streamed since the 22nd. Was away in Calgary, Canada, for my girlfriend's bodybuilding competition, which was a cool experience. She stepped on stage in the WBFF Federation, World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion. So it's like an amalgamation between more of a beauty contest and a fitness competition. So yeah, it was pretty cool. She placed third in her category, so not too bad considering it was her first time, and the girls she competed against, or the girls that had won that she had competed against, had been doing this for multiple years, so not bad. I probably haven't traded the market since Tuesday or Wednesday, I think, so it's been a few days. Haven't been looking at this much. The occasional glance over at the markets on my phone, but no real investment in trading in the last few days. So as always, we are starting off on the news for the week. Today we have some orange folders all regarding the European Unions and the Swiss franc, I guess. We have some Canadian red folders dropping tomorrow at 5:30. Some US red and orange folders dropping 5:30 and 7. Wednesday, a lot of speeches, looks like, with German CPI, which I imagine will be quite big. I think Germany is the biggest economy in Europe, so in the European Union, pretty sure. Could be wrong, but I think they're fourth largest economy in the world, so I'm pretty sure their CPI is going to have a significant impact. Thursday, some more US red folders and orange folders, and then Friday, a mix. So just all in all, the sentiment is that there are quite a few folders day after day that can all have some moderate to large impacts on the stocks on the Forex pairs we're trading. Alright, let's get into our typical analysis. Here we have AUDCAD on the hourly. We have this huge precipitous decline, just absolutely tanked since having this huge up. We look on the daily, just unreal how much this is tanked in such a short period of time. Rose up very quick and then just absolutely tanked. I think we are just gonna wait. If price does come back up, if price makes new lows and comes back up, we could potentially get into a sell over here at 894. I do think that could be a decent opportunity, but we are going to hold out and wait for, I mean, it technically has made a lower low, but I'd kind of anticipate wanting a nicer low, so something that's significantly lower in this price range, maybe breaking closer to this sort of resistance here, or support here. That's kind of what we're looking for here, and again, that could take a little while. So for price to go all the way down there and then come all the way back up here to this price point, that might take a bit. AUDCHF, obviously similar price decline. I would say of the two, I'd be more interested in trading AUDCAD than AUDCHF, so we're not super busy or super preoccupied with trading this guy. AUDJPY, we can get rid of some of these lower zones. Price has reached this high, close to this similar high back here in September. There is some opportunity for price to go down. I would say I'm still probably more bullish on this, but again, as usual, I'd want to wait and see what the other JPY pairs are doing, and there might be alternative yen pairs that are much more that have a nicer structure to trade. So AUD, similarly, they're all going down. I think it's best to wait. Maybe there might be some opportunity on the 5-minute for some of these guys, but we'll review that at the end. We'll just go through everything on the hourly first, and then check out the 5-minute. Get rid of that zone. Hold on. Again, it seems like it's sort of trading within this range. Price is spilled out above and below the range, but has gone back, so not really anticipating any direction here specifically. We're just sort of monitoring. Lots of nice support down here at this level. Could have even been a half decent buy here. Shame we missed it. We've got the nice trendline support along this level, multiple levels of support here, somewhat of a high here, breaking above this previous high, but still probably would have been a good opportunity getting into a buy here, setting stops relatively close and aiming for a 2 or 3 to 1 here. But we're not going to chase. That is not our game plan. There will always be another trade in the market, so we are just going to watch. Nice CADJ, continuing up. Let's see. Looks like he might be reaching some minor/major resistance soon. He's just kind of taken off here, not really following this previous ascending trend line. You can see he's taken off significantly. Again, could be looking for a pullback here to get in, but would like to compare with some of the other yen trades, yen pairs. So we are just going to monitor CADJPY. He's a little too high to buy right now, but bullish enough that we would anticipate a good buy on a pullback. CHFJPY also quite bullish, no surprise there. I already know that he has I'm relatively sure this line that I've put in here at 158.47 is his all-time high in the past 20, 30, 40 years, something like that. So he is very, very bullish. He's creating literally all-time highs right now. And so we are gonna stay out until we see some decent market structure for him, because he's obviously extremely bullish, can pull back. Lots of opportunity for buyback into the as price pulls up, but we're gonna move right along. Euro AUD. could be a good opportunity for a sell here. We've got our third touch on our trend line down. We've got previous resistance at this level. We do have lower highs and lower lows. The only issue is that he was quite bullish before. So we've been bullish since August. Gaining literally thousands of pips on our way up. This could be some sort of bear flag. So it's kind of difficult to tell. Had this been sort of mirror opposite into a bullish ascending channel instead of a bearish descending channel, I'd be more inclined to buy as price pulled back. But trying to sell with all this upward momentum is a riskier move. Feels like you're trading with the short-term trend against the long-term trend. Okay, we're gonna throw him in our pink folder just to keep an eye on him. Could be a good opportunity for a sell. We're just gonna continue on right now. EURCAD. Less of an opportunity here. Market structure is not the greatest. So we are going, we're just gonna move right along, wait for some better market structure to form. We did have some nice market structure, but obviously it broken out to the downside towards this level of support. And so if we break below the support as price continues to move down, maybe we can look into getting into a short, but for now we're just waiting. EURCHF, similar break on this ascending trend line. Not any clear patterning here, so we are going to stay out of this guy. As always, one of the nice JPY pairs, they're super bullish. He is quite overextended, not a lot of market structures formed, just a lot of upward price movement. And I think we are gonna wait for the yen pairs. They're all very, very bullish. I don't think we're looking to get into any shorts or buys at this moment. We're just gonna wait for price to create some good market structure. So either some higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows. I mean, we are obviously creating some higher highs, higher lows, but they're not in a very trending sort of pattern. And that's what we like to trade. EUROG. Here's pattern that got broken. Similar thing, we've just got some sideways price action here. Not worth necessarily trading, so we're going to stay out. EURNZD, a lot of sideways price action up here after we broke out of this channel. We will see, just based on the more recent patterns I drew in, we'll see how EURNZD reacts. We do have these higher lows, we do have these equal highs. If price continues within this sort of triangle, then we could look for a buy to the upside. So as price breaks out, we see a break, a retest, and then continued higher. But that could take weeks if we do see something like this. Break, retest, high. So if this does happen, what we'd look to do is either get in here or get in here. One of the two. And obviously that's assuming that's gonna play out, which there's a high likelihood it won't. But if it does play out, we're in there like swimwear. EUROU, not a whole lot of patterning. We've got this nice cup here, but not a lot of very easy to define support resistance levels here. GBPAUD, not much here as well. Prices continuing back to these previous high levels, whether that sort of indicates that we're in a range with the low being down here and the high being up here, or whether price will just continue to break out higher, not totally sure. But we will wait to see how that unravels. GBPCAD. We've definitely got some lower highs set up here. We're breaking this previous support here. But we've got a lot of leeway to this upside for price to come back up. So we're just going to monitor, maybe check out on a 5-minute. Could be some good opportunity. GBPCHF. Maybe could get into a buy down here at 1.26, 1.126, sorry. We do have these higher highs, higher lows, and this does look like a decent level of structure here where we could look for a bounce. So we will alert that area and wait to to see if price comes down and possibly enter into a buy at that point. GJ, just like all the other yen pairs, very overbought. We're looking to wait for price to come back down. GBPNZD. Price is reaching up to very high levels here. See if price can reach 2.10 and then look for sell side opportunities if price starts to reject at that 2.10 level. GU, nice break above this high of 1.26. Price is currently trending down, but again, this could be some sort of bullish pattern for price to consolidate and then move higher. But we are just going to wait and stay out until we see some better price action form. NZDCAD missed opportunity last week. Price ended up going 3R in our favor, but we were kind of holding out for a 5R, anticipating much higher returns into this range, and fortunately it did not happen. Price rejected back down. Just based on the way price is forming right now, we could be looking, if price breaks these lows, we could be looking to get into a sell. So if price breaks down super low down here, as price comes up, we could be looking to get into a sell right around this level. NZDCHF. Not much here. Price is continuing to respect this trend line. However, we are creating higher lows here, so it's a little, I won't say worrying, but we just need to respect the idea that price is creating these higher lows, and if we do come back up to a zone expecting to sell, price could respect these higher lows and then break out to the upside. So we just need to monitor for that. Ideally break some of these lower lows, or break this trend of higher lows before we look to get into sell. NZDJ, similar to the other ones, a little bit too overbought right now, waiting for a pullback. And you, we do have this nice channel we're currently in. Hi Luna. We got some lower highs, lower lows. Multiple levels of resistance here. If price does come up to this 0.63 level, we could possibly get into a sell. That could be a good opportunity. But for now, yeah, we'll just wait for that. UCAD. We'll zoom out a little bit. this nice overall ascending trend line support back from May 21st, but price has broken this significant level of support back from November. What I might anticipate, or what I might like to see to get into a trade, is with a bullish bias, price rejects off this trend line and starts to form, breaks this, so price bounces off this trend line, breaks over top of this trend line, and starts to form some higher highs and higher lows. So something like bouncing off here, breaking this guy, and start to come back up like that. And then we could look to possibly get into a buy right at this level. That's sort of what I'm anticipating. Again, likelihood of that happening is low, but if it does, that's when we'll be waiting. USD 4 hour. Let's get rid of some of these lines. See if we can't freshen up the chart a little bit. Oh, we've got some breaks. So break here to the downside. Break here to the upside. So a lot of indecision right now, not a lot of long-term trends, just a lot of short-term trends. I'd say obviously right now we're in a bit of a bullish or bearish sort of short-term trend. So we are just monitoring here, wait to see what price forms. We could continue a little lower, we could stop here and continue higher. I think we're just going to monitor and not try to get into any trades. UJ here, nice little break to the upside. After breaking out of this previous wedge. Similar to all the other pairs, we're sort of waiting on a pullback here before we get into this yen pair trade. We do have this nice ascending channel, but it's a bit just too overbought right now. We want to wait for a pullback, maybe down here at the 142 or 142.1 level before we get into a trade. But that's similar to all the other yen pairs. Looking at the stock indices, let's see, let's look at all three of them in tandem. Okay, so NASDAQ and the SPY are quite bullish. US 30, given some mixed signals, was previously bullish over this past 2 week span here and has gotten into a little bit of bearish sentiment. Not necessarily looking, I'd rather just be looking with bullish bias at this point that matches all three. And specifically probably looking at US 100 or 500, anticipating some kind of pullback. So maybe on the lower time frame we could find an entry on these guys, but we'll review that in a second. Just not seeing anything on the hourly. Gold, nice little break below this previous support level. And this is sort of what we were anticipating before. I think this is sort of the price action we're looking to anticipate for getting into a sell. If price breaks out of this descending trend line, then this sort of negates this idea here, but if price can continue displaying something like this, we could be interested in getting into a sell on gold for price to continue lower. Obviously that's not going to happen, but that's the sort of general trend or idea. If price action follows that format, then we're looking for a sell. Okay, that's it for the hourly on the pairs. Let's quickly look at the 5 minute. I think the Australian pairs are going to be very, very trendy on the 5 minute. We might be able to see possible entries on these guys. So, not necessarily here on AUDCAD. He is a little too bearish without much market structure forming. AUDCHF, probably pretty similar. Again, we're looking for lower highs, lower lows, and then some obvious levels of support or supply and demand where price can pull back to, and we feel that's a good level. So for example, if price pulled back into this zone here, we would look to get into a sell. Keep price here, target somewhere like 2 to 1. But for now, we're just monitoring. Again, likely good entry down here at 5 o'clock that we sort of missed. Not gonna chase, and if price comes back down to this level, we're not getting in. But that would have been a good opportunity from earlier. CADJPY, a little too overbought. Really looking for price to come back down significantly before we get into any sort of opportunity there. Same with CHF-JPY. EURAUD, potential reversal. So on the 5 minute, we're looking quite bullish as we go from the lower to the top of this range. On the hourly, however, we do see some lower lows, lower highs, with a previous resistance, partial structure resistance at this level. So let's say we were to get into an opportunity here. I feel like we wouldn't want our stops too close. Maybe above this level. getting in, setting a limit at 635. I'm just updating the telegrams. So many tabs. Alright, there we go. So we are looking to get into this trade. Again, lots of confluence on this trade. We got the lower highs, we got the lower lows. We have a good risk reward, 5-1. Dog's getting antsy about going for a walk. Not happening. I think my girlfriend's going for a jog instead. We do have this previous level of structure here that price could be rejecting at. I would say again, the only negative confluence that we're looking at is that overall, if we look at the higher time frame, price has typically been quite bullish in this period of time. And that, if we look at it from this perspective, yeah, we had this little breakdown here, but this could be a bit more of a long-term bullish, like higher high scenario here. So we've got high, higher high, higher high. What? Your headphones. 1 second. I wonder if I have my little I could just turn on interference. You want your bag? That's a good question. Did they get? Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Actually, you would have put them in your bag, and you got back in the car, didn't you? Oh.
trading.
Okay, we are back. So yeah, looks like we're already in the trade. We had a limit order set at 635. So again, the sort of negative attribute to this is that on this longer time frame, we are kind of looking at a very bullish trend. So a couple different perspectives to share. On an extremely long time frame on the daily, we typically do get rejections at this 1 point, what would we say, 1.64 to 1.66 level, where price creeps up to these highs and then rejects down lower. So in that regard, price could be coming back down. However, again, we haven't yet necessarily truly broken out of this ascending channel. And the other part is that the Australian pairs are very, very bearish right now, which might spell that the Euro AUD is just going to continue on higher. So, I don't know, we're looking either way. It's always good to analyze your trade in a way in which you see why it won't work out. So you always want to have that opposite mindset of, why do I have confluence as my trade will work out, and what are some factors I can add to my trade as to why it won't work out. Okay, that's Euro AUD. Anyways, let's get back on the 5 minute for some of these other guys. EURCAD, just a lot of sideways price action. EURCHF, pretty similar, lots of sideways price action on the shorter time frames. EURJPY, we have a bit of a wedge here. Could wait for price to break out either to the higher or to the low, but that might not happen for a while, and I'm not anticipating any big market moves in the next little while. So we are just going to leave it. EURGBP, lots of sideways price action, some big spikes in price movement here. Nice spike up on this price movement, nice spike down, nice continued movement up, but nothing that looks very similar to what we're looking to trade. EURNZD kind of sideways, EURU kind of sideways, GBPAUD. This one is a bit more of an ascending channel here. However, we are reaching the previous high. That would be right around here, 1.915. Price could pull back. We could be looking to get into an intraday price pullback, but I think we're just going to monitor. GBPCAD. Kind of similar. We do have some nice price action going down here. Price has broken this previous level of support. We might anticipate getting into a sell down here at 1.674 as price comes back up, or if price comes back up, with the anticipation of aiming for down here, maybe a little higher. Nothing wrong with 3 to 1. That would sort of be the look of that trade here. We can set an alarm for that. Alerts, there we go. Alright, got a nice little alert set. Your AUD is in. Moving right along, GBPCHF. Not much here, a lot more sideways price action. GJ very bullish, not much on the lower time frame. GBPNZD a little bullish, but mostly some sideways price action. GU possibly looking for a break either down or up before getting into a trade. NZDCAD, I think we explained on the hourly, we could be looking for price to continue lower, but we need price to break this previous low, and then we could be looking for a sell side opportunity. NZDCHF, something very similar. We do have some previous higher lows on the hourly. If we can break that trend, we could be looking for some sells, as price is very much respecting this trend line. Not a bad trend here. But we're kind of in the middle range, so we need price to either move down to the bottom to get into a reversal trade, or for price to go to the top to continue on with the trend. Not much here. Looks pretty similar here with USDCHF and UJ. Some good opportunity here, but again, price is kind of floating in the middle of this channel, and we need price to be closer to the trend line before we look for an opportunity. US 30, very nice drop, but the bias is for a buy. Bias is for a buy, just because we're expecting that the other two outweigh that current valuation of the US 30, and we're more looking for a breakout to the upside. And golds, not much on the lower time frame, but again, on the hourly, could be, if price respects this trend line, could be an opportunity for a sell. Could be some opportunity for the sell side. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Again, review, we got into this Euro AUD trade. We are looking for a 5-to-1 sell here. We have lower highs, we have lower lows, we have this little bit of a previous market structure level here, and we have a nice 5-to-1 risk. A couple reasons you might not want to take this trade. On the 4-hour, we have these longer time frame ascending channel. This little breakdown here could have been a slip, could have been just a lower level response support for price to continue higher. However, if it's not and price continues down lower, this is a really good opportunity for a very good risk reward trade. Even longer, we see price typically does, if I get rid of this guy quickly, price does typically reject at these 1.66 levels before coming back down. So we shall see a bit of a mixed bag there. Price typically rejects the 1.66 and then finds support at the 1.59 level. So typically floats in these two ranges. It looks like it already had previously found support right around in here. Found some more resistance. Found some more support, hopefully found some more resistance, and will continue lower. The other reason you might want to take this trade is all the Australian pairs are very bearish the last few days, which would spell this trade continuing higher if the Australian pairs are going to continue to be very bearish. If they do find a reversal, then this is a good opportunity. So anyways, those are your pros and cons of this trade. That's it. the education session is sort of what I talked about earlier. You never want to be, especially in Forex trading, you never want to be, you want to be confident in your trading, but you never want to be extremely confident in your position. You need to be able to see why your position might be wrong before you can enter your position. And part of that is because you never want to over leverage or allow any of the typical psychological barriers to creep into your trading. So for example, if you go into a trade and you lose, and you go into your next trade and you think, oh well, I'll just risk more on this next trade so I can make that back the loss of the previous trade. If you were to examine your second trade and all the reasons why it might lose, you might be less inclined to think that it's just going to win you back your losses from your previous trade and make new profits. Plus, the more and more you identify it, the more and more you might be able to identify reasons why you can adjust your trading plan to make it better. So for example, I am trading a descending channel on what would be like a lower time frame, but I'm trading against the trend of an ascending channel on the upper time frame. I can't say I've taken these trades a lot, but I have taken it before, and this didn't work out last time. So if this accumulates every single time I do these trades, and I notice, okay, well, these trades aren't really panning out in my favor, then I can scrap them from my playbook. And then I can just be like, well, multiple trades in the past have shown me that this is not a good strategy. It tends out to not work out, or maybe there's some other opportunity there. But it just adds to the data collected from trades to make us all better traders. So that's it for the education today. Thank you for attending the stream. I'll be back since I don't have any other bodybuilding shows this week that I have to go to. I will be back every morning. Thank you, and good luck in your trading today.